Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of
What are you smoking?
That's right, we are back with another episode of What Are You Smoking here on Brother Not Brother, and thank you so much for being here today. Today, we are going to be trying a new recipe, and I have my cooking apron, and yes, what are you smoking in this house? That's right, I got a smoker now, and so I get to participate in What Are You Smoking with Kelby. So, my wife sent me this recipe, and we're going to try and make some bacon-wrapped potatoes for the Super Bowl tomorrow. Granted, this is going to come out sometime after that. However, tomorrow is the Super Bowl. I'm going to try and pre-make these tonight, and then we can just throw them in the oven tomorrow and finish them or reheat them or whatever so that it's warm, hot, and ready for the Super Bowl. So, the original recipe has like the little tiny mini little baby potatoes, little red potatoes. They wrap them in bacon, cover them in some like sauce and seasoning, and then throw them in the oven and bake them until they're done. I am going to do the same process, except I'm using full-size potatoes. I'm going to cut them into quarters and then in half so that it's like eighths. And they end up showing up like this guy here. So we'll have a bunch of those. I'm also going to try just doing some little meatballs wrapped in bacon as well. And then I got a pack of bacon here, and we're going to cut these in half, wrap them around, season them, sauce them, throw them on the smoker. I'm going to try and smoke them for an hour first on like the low or a smoke, and then after that I'm going to crank it up to whatever temperature the recipe calls for. I think it was 400 degrees for about 45 minutes until the bacon gets crispy and the potatoes are done. Fingers crossed they show up at the same time, and I have a feeling they will, and I like my bacon extra crispy, so hopefully we can get those two to meet in the middle and create a delicious little football Super Bowl snack. Let's go ahead and show you the build process. And my theory on this is putting the meaty side down so that all of the fat, when I set these guys on the grill, I'm going to set it on this little triangular bottom so all the fat kind of drips down this way. Grab a toothpick, keep the bacon in place, stack it up, let's go. Alright, now I'm going to make the coating, seasoning, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to start with just some garlic salt. I'm not going to measure this one. The recipe said something like 5 teaspoons of seasoning here. I'm doubling the recipe with my bacon here and what I've done. So we're just going to wing this and see how good we're going to go. Next, I'm going to throw in some Montreal steak seasoning. This is one of my favorite seasonings. I will put this on everything. There we go, that's good. And lastly, one of my favorites that Kelby uses is a hardcore carnivore black. I love these blackened seasonings. I'm just gonna add a little bit of that, just so we don't get too black, but definitely gonna add some flavor to these babies, and color. Finally, I don't have a ton of barbecue sauce here, but honestly, I hope I don't need a whole ton. Just enough to get a light coating on there. Get the last of that barbecue sauce in there. Then we're going to go ahead and throw all of our potatoes and meatballs in there. Alright, and now try and toss it here. All of my bacon, I am definitely ruining my bacon wrapping skills here. So we may have to do some touch-ups here. But got them at a place where they're pretty evenly seasoned now. Go ahead and pull these babies off, put them back on our sheet to be able to throw them on the grill. These guys are ready for the smoker. We got our meatballs on the back row, and then we got our potatoes filling the center. All right, you guys, we are in the middle of an ice storm out here, but that's not gonna stop us. We're gonna go ahead and load up our smoker and get these babies cooking. There she is. All right, it's been on smoke for about an hour. That's what she's looking like. Not bad. Hopefully we're just getting some flavor on there, getting it nice and smoky. So we're gonna go ahead and take this from smoke to 400. All right, you guys, I let this go for an hour. Hopefully I didn't burn them. Let's go ahead and test these puppies out and see if the potatoes are cooked all the way through. It's crispy. Okay, so some of them got a little more crispy than the others. Let's go ahead and pull these babies off. Sorry you guys missed it, but here they are. Let's take them inside. So some of these got a little crispier than others. That one's just a little piece of charcoal, but then some of them look really good. Like, look at that guy. So we're gonna take a sampling of a couple of these after they cool for a minute, and we'll tell you how they turned out. I don't think I'm gonna be taking all of these to the party. You know, these blackened ones, I don't think anyone's gonna eat, except for maybe me. I still love bacon. All right, so here is my first one. The one I'm gonna try here. Pull our toothpick out, came out clean. Oh, that's good. Potatoes are perfectly done. Oh yeah. 100%, that is fantastic. Now the problem and concern is these black ones. This one, it looks like it could almost be a piece of charcoal. It's so black. Let's see how it turned out here. Here we go. Not great. Not as bad as I expected. Like when you burn something, usually it's like so bad it's inedible. It's still edible, but this is definitely not one I'm gonna take to like a party with the friends. The potato in the middle, it's still perfectly cooked, super mushy, flaky, but I don't know. It's perfectly cooked potato in the middle, but the outside the bacon is just completely fried, unfortunately. The seasoning is good. On these burnt ones, it's a little too much, but on the not burnt ones, I would say it's perfect. Luckily, it doesn't look like any of the ones that were meatballs got burned. Like this is the darkest of the meatballs. It looks amazing. It's a little flaky. And this bacon is like perfectly rendered down to just nothing. It just melts in your mouth. All right, cheers everyone. Oh yeah, that's great. The meatballs are definitely over seasoned. Can't season them the same as the potatoes. The potatoes are starchy and definitely need some flavor added to them, where the meatballs already had some flavor to them. So unfortunately those ones were over seasoned. The rest of these, we'll go through, pick the best ones, take what we can, toss what we can't. I'm gonna eat this guy because it looks a little crispy on one side. Oh, that's great. You can definitely see how fluffy that interior is. So these ones I definitely would say keep an eye on. Maybe 45 minutes at that 400, and literally just keep an eye on it. Some of them are gonna cook faster than the others, so pull all the crispy ones off, come back in 5 minutes, pull the crispy ones off, come back in 5 minutes until they're all done. But overall, I definitely would recommend it. If you want to spend the extra money on the tiny little potatoes, a 10-pound bag of potatoes costs the same as a 1-pound bag of potatoes if you get the little mini ones versus like regular potatoes. So I went with the regular potatoes and it still tastes great. Overall, I might use a little less seasoning. I was just winging it. You'll have to try and guess off of what I did to do less. Maybe you just season them on the pan. That would work great too. It would give you an even coating and you can actually see how much and control how much is going on there. The hard part is like the sauce. That's up to you. I love to cook in a way that you're just winging it. And so a lot of times it doesn't work out perfectly, but it also makes for a learning experience and new opportunities. And I don't know, I'm just not afraid to mess up, to do something wrong. But this one, I don't think it's a loss. I think it's a win. I'd call it a win. So my wife ended up saying, hey, you know what? We still have enough bacon. We have some potatoes left. Go ahead and make some more. See if you can do it better the second time around. And sure enough, you can. So some things I changed. The first thing I did is I didn't toss them in the bowl with the barbecue sauce and seasoning. I literally just seasoned them on the pan there. I laid them on their side so the bacon was facing up, seasoned the bacon, flipped them over, seasoned the other side, and that seemed to work just fine. I didn't end up using barbecue sauce on the second batch. If you want to, you can get like a brush, one of those barbecue sauce brushes, dip it in the bowl, sauce the tops of those if you'd like. I don't think it was totally necessary. Next thing I did is I ended up smoking them for an hour, just like before, and then I cooked them at 300 for like an hour and a half. And then for like another 30 minutes, I think at the end, I threw in the other ones from the night before to warm them up. I put them on the upper rack in my grill so they could get a little bit smoky too. And they were a hit. I had, after all of those, I had tons of those. I filled a whole container full of them, brought them to the Super Bowl party. There was five pieces left, and they didn't last long once I got home. So, needless to say, they were a hit. They're delicious. You should make them for yourself. They're super easy. I would say cook them at a lower temperature for longer and just season them by hand rather than trying to toss them in a bowl. That was just too much mess. I ended up having to rewrap so many with the toothpick. Don't do that. Just season them by hand and you will be in a great shape. These things are delicious, fantastic snacks for Super Bowls, summer parties, barbecues, things like that where you want to bring a dish. And you know what? You can do these in the oven too. Doesn't have to be a smoker, but I used a smoker because it's the first chance I got to use my smoker, and I was so excited, and it turned out great. While the first batch was a little bit extra crispy, these ones turned out fantastic the second time around. And I'll cut to past Grant to finish the outro. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys want to see in future episodes down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Check us out on all of our social media down here. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!